I think I'm more excited to hang out in Texas and have my queer friends take me shooting. I'm really excited about that. We're gonna do all those things, and I'll wear my sash, so I'll have pictures of me with a rifle in my sash. I think I'll have to switch that out in the program. I put a picture in the program that I think me with my sash and a gun would be better. But and come to IMSL, come to International Memoir-Leather, March 29th, April 1st, San Francisco.
Ow!
I'm gonna be there. I'll be there. And I can actually do something. You know what the crazy thing was? Last year at IMSL, or if you're a contestant at IMSL, there was a curfew. I know. I thought I was gonna go crazy, and everybody's like so sexy, right? And I had to be in my room at 11 o'clock, and everybody else was out doing stuff. And Ashley kept saying she was gonna send someone back to my room. Never did. Never did. And then it's the next day. It's Saturday. I'm like rehearsing. It's gonna be the contest. I had my interview, which was really, really nerve-wracking. And all these sexy people were around, and I had to like tell Ashley she needs to leave me alone in the bathroom for a couple of minutes with my Hitachi. And then it was fine. I felt like a regular person. After that, I didn't want to kill everybody. And apparently I had a really good interview. So basically, you know, the moral of the story is love yourself and masturbate a lot.
You can go back wherever you
I can go there.
Okay. People can't ask me these things. I'm not good at telling people what to do. I'm like, I don't know, go wherever you want to go. So our next storyteller is going to be Sinclair. Wherever you guys are.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, there's so many more people from this side of the room. So, I never really would say that I identify as a storyteller, but I'm coming to realize recently that being a storyteller is also similar to rambling a lot and telling really elaborate backstories that, like, I'm like, wait, I'll get around back to the thing that we were saying, just hold on, and then this other thing, and I'll explain all of that to you. It's relevant, I swear. But, I didn't realize that was like that's like a thing, and that sometimes that's how my stories actually are better. But in spoken word, in conversation, casual conversation, sometimes people are like, where are you going with this? Okay, so I'm excited about this. I'm excited. Toni Amato is kind of a silent mentor of mine who I've like read their stuff for ages, and well, the piece in Best Lesbian Erotica 1998 comes to mind. I've told you about this before, right, Sassafras? Yeah, I talk about this sometimes. But it kind of changed my world, and it wasn't, that wasn't the sole thing that made me realize that my, boyfriend of 6 years was totally unsatisfying, but it was one of the things. It was one of them, for sure. It's like, oh, there's other things I could be doing. Okay, and in the spirit of, awesome stories about partners and IMSL and I've been debating for like a week about what to read tonight, and I practiced this whole 2 other pieces and maybe three, and I'm gonna read you a different thing, which is the story of the first date of myself and my girlfriend Tori, whose name is Kristen in this story, but whatever. We have lots of names. We have lots of names. That's what we do, right? Yeah. Yeah. What else was I going to say about that? I'm just going to read the story. And for the record, this is the very first time I've read off my fucking phone in public, and I'm really embarrassed about that, but I really had another thing that I was going to read that I'm going to read this. It's going to be better. Okay.
Are you really nervous?
Maybe. I might be now I think I'm a little more nervous. Thanks, Laura.
I'll pretend to like text for a while if you feel
this is this is called I'm Kind of Insatiable. 1. Dude, I'm gonna bring. We're gonna go there. It's all good. It's early. You can handle it. It's late by my time. Yeah. 1. I could have fucked her for a few more hours at least. I was just hitting my stride, just beginning to feel confident in the ways that her body turns on and gets off. Like when she gasps more, she actually means more friction. How she has the type of orgasms that means that she can squirt. Which is why I kept going for orgasm number 2, 3, because I wanted to feel her do it and I suspected that she could. I was right. I hadn't planned to take her back to my place, but that didn't stop me from cleaning my room on Saturday before the date. Unlikely is not impossible, and if my room is not presentable, it isn't even an option, and I like to have options. I would like to throw her around more. She's small and so receptive. She went where I put her, stayed, makes space for me to enter, to take. She's my favorite kind of bottom, surrendering. 2. At dinner. She's wrestling a little with femme identity. This was 3 years ago. Just for the record. Femme and feminists sometimes conflict, she starts to explain. Oh yeah, I understand that. I saw butch and feminist as conflicting when I started figuring this out for myself. I was a feminist first, and most importantly, and when you take misogyny out of masculinity, what's left? Seriously, I'm not sure I have an answer to that question yet.
Cufflinks.
Oh, In case it needs reiteration, I firmly believe that femme and feminist can be simultaneously occupied. In fact, in some ways, I think intentionally choosing femme is inherently feminist. I think it was Leah who said at the femme conference, femme is a way of making girl, not hurt. Femininity can be inherently painful under societal hierarchies and rules, and to recreate it in ways that actually buffer the hurt instead of deepen it can be incredibly powerful. She talked a little about the ways that femme is misperceived, especially as an invitation. This is definitely a huge difference in the development of butch and femme identities. We barely scratched the surface of these conversations, and this was foreplay. 3, after dinner. Suddenly she stopped walking and backstepped. Did you just lose your shoe? I asked. She gave me this small, shy smile. That's embarrassing. I held out my hand so she could balance on one foot and slip her black high heel back on. No, it's not embarrassing, I said, hand against her back as we started back to the bar. We'd just come from dinner and needed a darker, more comfortable place to make out. Let's be honest. It happens to me all the time, I said. She shot me this look. Really? No, not really. Sorry, too deadpan. I turned to face her, stopping her from walking forward, and took hold of her jacket at the zipper with both hands. No, I'm sorry, that was trying to be a joke, but it didn't really work. I pulled her closer and was blushing, and even in high heels, she was still shorter than me. Forgive me, I said. I held her gaze and pulled her toward me. Immediately, the kiss was electrifying, delicate and wanting, full of desire. I'd barely touched her yet, but now wanted my hands on her waist, in that secretary pencil skirt, her legs, and those seamed black stockings. Not a femme at all, right? 4, at the bar. A gin, gimlet for her, another Makers on the rocks for me. We're chatting. The topic was activism, mostly, educating those around us. I feel increasingly bold, be it the good conversation or the drinks or the chemistry or the way that she opens her eyes to me. My hand finds her waist, her back, and her nerves are electric and so receptive. Her body curls every time I touch her. She gasps a little. I keep talking. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing a word that you're saying, she says. She looks at me with her eyes half-lidded, but you can keep talking. I pull her toward me and we kiss again, sparking at the mouth at my fingertips where our bodies connect. 5 in the car on the way to my